What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to Parkitect. That's right, I have decided I was going to try to start another park on Parkitect here, and maybe, just maybe, this time I actually might finish it. I've actually been kind of inspired here recently. I've been watching some of $2.20's videos on Parkitect, and I'm thinking, you know what? I mean, if he can do these awesome things, then maybe, you know, I should give this game another chance. Now, the one thing I don't like about Parkitect, which is also one of the things that makes Parkitect actually really good, is the fact that it's grid-based. And I always run into problems trying to design and stuff in grid-based because it takes me back to the days of playing Roller Coaster Tycoon 3 when I was always kind of getting stuck. It'd be like, oh man, this doesn't center up right because this is 4 squares and I need it to be 5 so that it lines up and, you know, lines up perfectly with this and that. And it is kind of a hassle because, you know, if you look at the carousel compared to the Ferris wheel in this game is 5 squares and the carousel is 4. So there's no way to like center the Ferris wheel so that it lines up perfectly with the carousel. And to me, that's kind of a pain, but Parkitect has a lot of great things going for it too. It has one of the, between it and Planet Coaster, its management system is bar none the best. It tracks a lot of things, like, you know, the guests in your park will actually kind of, you know, they'll notice if like there are employees out and about carrying stuff to and from the stores, taking out trash, anything like that. The guests notice this, and it brings your value of your park down. So you kind of have to set up your management systems quite well to get things to kind of work out that way. So that's one of the great things that it does have going for it. It's also, you know, there's a lot more pieces in this game than what there was, and the coders and, you know, the developers and stuff behind Parkitect, they really seem to enjoy their game. They really seem to take heart in it, and, you know, they look at the things that I feel like, anyway, they look at the things that people want in the game, and they try to implement it the best they can. I noticed this a lot during its early alpha access and early access stuff before it was actually released publicly. Well, not publicly, but released, officially released, we'll say. So, you know, a lot of things they added, they just kept constantly working on it. And then I noticed the other day they actually came out with another new update too that fixed a lot of like problems and bug fixes and stuff like that that people had with it. So, but like, you know, like I said, I've been watching $2.20's videos and I've just been amazed at some of the things he's been creating. So it's really inspired me to kind of maybe come back to Parkitect and give it another try. I like the game. I've never not liked the game. It was just I always got stuck and I just wasn't sure where to go. Like, I was working on Phoenix Beach in Parkitect first, and I got to a point where it was just like, I don't know what else I want to do. And I was getting tired of, you know, trying to build, and I wasn't sure what I was doing. I had too many mods installed, and the mods were kind of like hindering me more than helping me. So what I basically have went and done is I've completely went back and to the drawing board. There are no mods in this save one. I did install the disable collision, so it lets me kind of place different scenery pieces over top of other scenery pieces and lets me do kind of things like that. I noticed I still can't place a tree on top of the flower beds, so I had to work around that, which you'll see in this video here. So that was one thing I had to kind of play around with. So I decided, as you're watching this video here, I've decided how I'm going to actually start my park is not with a parking lot, not with an entrance or anything like that. I'm going to kind of start with the most basic of all amusement park items, and that is the carousel, the classic carousel that most every park has. It's part of their legend, it's part of their heritage, and I really wanted to kind of start with that and kind of work my way out, because I've noticed a lot of times, well, not a lot of times, but sometimes I'll start these things and where they're grid based, I'll start doing like the main path or the entrance or something, and then I'll get to the point where, okay, I want to put a carousel here. Oh crap, it doesn't line up, and then I have to redo everything. So I thought this time let's line everything up around the carousel. The carousel will be the focal point of our main thoroughfare, I guess you could, well, our main midway, like when you enter the entrance to the park, basically the park plaza. So that's going to be the focal point of it. So I wanted to line everything up around that. But I didn't want to just, plop a carousel down and be like, oh, look, that's a carousel. No, I wanted to go a few extra steps like I typically do in Planet Coaster. I wanted to add a little bit of detail into it. I wanted to play around with placing different things. So not having a few of the mods that I had before was kind of hurting me a little bit, because it was just like, oh man, I just really, if I just had that mod installed, I could do this. But like I said, that the other mods and stuff that I used to use were also kind of hindering me as far as too much freedom. So I guess there is a thing such as too much freedom in the fact that it was really hard to line things up and get things to work right. So I just decided not to use that one, and I'm just going to work within the confines of the game, minus the disable collision. Now, I may download some assets to use, but I'm going to try to keep this as vanilla as I possibly can while making this. So that's kind of what I'm going to try to stick with. I hope you guys, enjoy this new series here. I hope we can get some likes and everything else on this. I've got some plans, which I will kind of go into in the next video about what the park is kind of resemble, like what I'm looking at as far as inspiration wise. Like you guys know, I usually will have some kind of park or parks in mind that I'm looking at that are my my inspiration, so we say, to build it. And a lot of times it's Kings Island. Here recently with Silverwood, it's been Dollywood, and Silver Dollar City has been my inspiration for those. But a lot of my parks are very, very generic. The American, not really theme park, but amusement park is kind of what I'm kind of going for in this one. And I want to kind of get that. So I was looking at a Park of Ode, one that doesn't exist anymore, and that's kind of what I'm going to base my plaza and some other things around as far as that goes. My main entrance, so we say, is going to be based around that. And then I'll kind of go my own way as far as what coasters are in the game, or what in the park, I should say, and what coasters, how we'll do our main street and all that. But the main entrance is kind of going to be based around a particular park, which I will go into in the next video. I'm not going to say anything just yet because we don't actually start on the main entrance. Like I said, I just kind of wanted to start with a carousel and go from there. So what you're seeing me do right now is I was trying to figure out how I was going to do the roof on this. So I tried a few different pieces and kind of start putting them together. There's my yawn. Every single time I do a video, maybe it's where I talk too much in a video and I run out of gas. I don't know. Every single time I go to record one of these voiceovers, I always end up yawning. Every time, it never fails. But I was kind of playing around with how I was going to do the roof of this and toying around with it, and I finally figured out I like this particular design using these roof pieces, but I wasn't happy with the color. So I tried a few different things, and I finally settled on this color here, which kind of reminded me a little bit of like copper in its own way. And then I wanted to put some pillars around there, obviously to hold up the roof. We don't want the roof just kind of floating on top of the carousel. So I looked at a couple of these things here, and then when I finished, I was like, no, that's not good enough. Let's see what else we can do. So I deleted those, and then as you can see here, I went back and I tried out a few different ones. I was like, that one seems a little too big. Can we get a thinner one? And that one was basically the one I ended up going with. So. And another one of the things that I really, really like about Parkitect that the Planet Coaster doesn't have is the ability to paintbrush. So you can grab a paintbrush, choose your colors, and then go over top of everything and paint it what color you would want. This is something that would be greatly appreciated in Planet Coaster 2, if they do a Planet Coaster 2, which I imagine they will. I mean, it's been kind of leaked in the documents and stuff on Reddit that, along with the maintenance mode and the Ghostbusters DLC and everything, that they do a couple of packs, and then they would start working on Planet Coaster 2. So there's no doubt in my mind that we'll probably see a Planet Coaster 2. So a lot of the things that I would really, really hope to see in Planet Coaster 2 is obviously water parks. I mean, I think that that's a given. They kind of have to. If Planet Zoo is any kind of look at what we may see for the future of Planet Coaster, there's a lot of things there. So weather, and the way that the water and stuff is done. I've seen some other things in some of the videos and stuff that you can do that They very much surprises me. So I think a lot of the stuff from Planet Zoo will make it over into Planet Coaster 2. But I would really like to see this this paintbrush tool would be something that would be very, very nice, because it would make it a whole lot easier to paint stuff instead of having to select each individual wall and paint it. Because sometimes, maybe you can select all the walls and do it, but sometimes if you have different kinds of, say, beams or walls or something that you're using, it won't let you repaint all of those at once. You have to select them individually to paint them, so it's just kind of a pain. Here you see I was kind of toying around with the roof there again, trying to figure out a spire for it. And I finally decided on this little spire right here, which I think kind of looks good. At this point, I was like, wait a minute, that does look good, but are there any windows? Just like individual windows, because I've made kind of spires like this in Planet Coaster, and I've made it completely out of windows, which is a spire on top. And I was like, oh, there's got to be some windows in this game, because I remember seeing them. But I think the windows that I used to have were most likely in one of the extra sets, the things that were created by users, one of the assets, the user assets that were made. So, but I wasn't able to find any windows, so I was just like, oh well. I mean, it looks fine the way it is. It could look better, but it looks fine how it is, and I'm fairly happy with it. So we got this copper-looking roof on top of this carousel, and I think it looks really, really good. I am very happy with it. Outside of the video here that you don't get to see is the little stone walls that I put in front of the flowers there in the front. I actually lined the pass with those as well. I also moved the entrance and the exit back a little bit too, so I thought that would kind of work a little better. I'm just going to place some trees and a few things here at the front of the path, and that will be it. If you guys like this carousel, I think I may actually upload this to the Parkitect workshop, because it would be my first Parkitect workshop item that I'll be uploading to Steam Workshop. So hopefully you guys like it. Obviously a link to my workshop will be in the video description down below. Go ahead and check that out, and wherever you guys are in the world, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Thanks for watching, and I hope you guys will enjoy my new Parkitect series, and hopefully I will be able to continue that. See you later, guys. What's up, everybody? Thank you for watching the video. If you haven't already, make sure you click that subscribe button down below and click on the bell to stay on top of all my new videos and live streaming events here on YouTube. I also want to give a huge shout out to all the names you see on the right for their support through donations, Patreon, and through Twitch subs. If you would like to join their ranks and you are able, you can do so by clicking on any of those links in the video description down below. No worries though, if you don't like giving away money like that, you can still support the channel by purchasing games or anything through Greenman Gaming, through Humble Bundle, or through Amazon by clicking on my links and making your purchase. A little bit of that goes towards me to support the channel. If you still can't get enough of me, you can always check me out live on twitch.tv and stay up to date with me on Twitter as well. Now that's going to be it, but I can't say thank you enough for all your support here on the channel. Wherever you guys are in the world, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. See you later.